What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new Dragon Ball Legends video on Dragon Ball Central. Today, we're going to be talking about what I believe to be one of the best updates this game has had since release. Let's just go ahead and get right into it. Alright guys, so we're just going to go ahead and address the elephant in the room with this update. The biggest, best elephant you possibly could hope to be in this room in particular. It is going to be the new PvE content, Legends Road. Now, basically, guys, this is going to run for a few weeks, almost 3 weeks, not quite, but almost. And basically, what we're looking at here is a free-to-play event that has some challenging endgame stuff. It's artificial difficulty, but we'll talk about that. But you basically have to earn these, grind out these event-exclusive medals. You go into the medal shop, and you can actually exchange it for Z-Power for Sparking Goku, and it's young Goku, you know, OG Dragon Ball Goku, which is absolutely amazing. I'm really happy. It's not like a garbage character, okay? He's a really cool character. Definitely am really excited to play him. And on top of that, you can get him for free. He is a Sparking, not an Extreme. I mean, all around, they did pretty much everything right with this event, in my opinion. You can also go ahead and get some 30% Sparking tickets. You know, as you guys know, you can get really lucky with those. If you saw my other video on it, we got a lot of Sparkings with a 10 summon, like a consecutive of these 30% Sparking tickets. You can also get really unlucky because obviously, you know, you have a better chance than not of not pulling a Sparking here and getting an Extreme, but Extreme Z-Power is still pretty decent to have, especially with a few of the Extremes that are on that banner. So honestly, guys, it's really worth going ahead, grinding out all the Z-Power on this dude, and then getting all of his Rising Souls because he has, and Super Souls because he has specific ones you have to go ahead and get to be able to max him out. You want to max him out because he's a free-to-play unit, and obviously we'll get more in the future if everybody goes ahead and plays this event and, you know, puts the time in, and you know, they see the engagement with the game go up. Basically, they're looking at statistics here. This is a test, like everything else they do with this game. They're going to see if this works well, and then if it does, they'll do it more in the future. Just like the Step Up banner, you know, they made it a ridiculous banner that has really awesome stuff on it, because probably the last one with Hercule and DKP, I doubt it did great, okay? Let's be honest with ourselves here. I doubt it did very well. So they probably wanted to try it out with, you know, ridiculously over-the-top, powerful, fantastic units and compare it to other times where we've gotten fantastic, over-the-top, powerful units with our daily summons and our consecutive summons, as opposed to the Step Up like it's going to be in that banner. So, you know, everything's a test in this game. So definitely put the time in, grind this out, guys. We'll be doing a nice showcase with Kid Goku very soon. But guys, he is so cool. He is so cool. Like, it's just awesome, dude. And obviously you're going to be able to put Master Roshi on his team. Has over 30% offensive buffs using his Z ability, which is absolutely incredible. But he is yellow, so, you know, he's pretty decent as far as counters go. I'm kind of interested to see what team we do see Kid Goku go on, but he does have Kamehameha, and you know, his stats, I don't know exactly what they're like, but basically I do think that his overall abilities and things like that are pretty decent, you know, dealing major damage, major impact damage, and then you're also going to be able to boost his strike damage for 15 timer counts on hit with his special skill, his, you know, extra arts cards. So really pretty awesome there. Is the ability going to be plus 25% to episode Dragon Ball Saga or Tag Legends Road, which is very much confirming the fact that we're going to be seeing this in the future, because Tag Legends Road is a thing, which means that we're going to get more Legends Roads in the future, which I'm so happy about, guys. We got PvE grind in this game, and I'm so happy to see it. But we're going to have some nice defensive bonuses from his Z ability. 25%, very significant. Down the line, a Roshi, DKP, Kid Goku, and maybe a few others when they do eventually come out on the Dragon Ball Saga team is going to be absolutely fantastic. But guys, this is your free-to-play content. You know, if you're complaining right now about, you know, all these new banners are coming out, we're not getting enough Chrono Crystals free-to-play to be able to be competitive and remain competitive in, you know, high-tier PvP with these fantastic power creep units that keep coming out, this is your answer, guys. Grind this out, make it happen, get him on your team. We'll go over some good team comps for him in the near future, but I am so excited to be able to say this right now. We got some PvE grind, dude. And that is like my favorite part of gacha games. I love grindy games. I just do. You know, I played RuneScape back in middle school. I actually just got back into it not so long ago when they came out on mobile, but that's another channel, another story. to tell, but that's gonna be on a different day. But yeah, guys, I played that back in the day, and from then on, I've been really into grindy games. So, you know, naturally, when I got into gacha games, I kind of got, I was hooked. You know, the hook caught me right on the lip, and I haven't been able to pull it out. It is just not happening. So, yeah, we've got some pretty amazing equipment here. And then you've also got, you know, the event medals that are going to be able to be exchanged for a bunch of different things. And we'll go over there, and I'll show you guys exactly what I mean by that. So, you can go over to the shop, and I think you can also go through the exchange shop in PvP, but you can go to shop. As you can see, I also bought some chrono crystals. This is not for right now necessarily. I'm going to spend probably 2,000 and end off the current run through the banner, making it, I think, an even... Oh, shoot, dude. We're going to be like 12,300 chrono crystals down on this banner. But anyways, as you can see, I've been playing this a little bit, but... you go ahead and you can spend all of these medals that you get from the different, you know, tiers of event. And you can get all the different Super Souls, the Rising Souls, Z Power. You got skip tickets for 5 each. Really not a bad deal there if you want to go ahead and try to stock up on them. 250 of them definitely will go a pretty decent way. You got energy tickets as well. Probably the better value, actually easily the better value there. Because you're getting 5 energy for 1 ticket, and that's going to only cost you 3, whereas, you know, a skip ticket's going to probably have about a 2 energy value there. So if you're better at grinding things out, you want to grind things out, those are probably what you want to go for first. You know, you can also pick up some training items if you want. You can. I know I saw this. Yeah, gravity machine fuel, that's pretty cool. Roasted fish. Now, I don't really know what that is. It might be a training item. I'll have to see. We'll do some research on that. I mean... It's exclusive to the silver medals here. I'm not really sure what it does. Yeah, that's very odd. We'll get one in a second. But yeah, we've got a lot of opportunity here for some really awesome things, guys. And just take advantage of this awesome event, okay? You can also really awesome get gravity machine fuel, which is fantastic because, you know, you do run out of those pretty quickly. 1,984 gold medals, which is crazy for the power pole equipment that you can actually it's a replica, so it's just an accessory, but you can actually equip this to Shallot. So that's going to be a pretty awesome grind as well. Nice aesthetics there. And, you know, obviously OG Dragon Ball came out in 1984, so really a fantastic nod to OG Dragon Ball. I love the charm that they put into this game, and that just goes to show you. You can also exchange at the rate of 50 to 1. You can exchange your medals. So if you do get a whole bunch of them, you max out. And then you're able to go ahead and, I guess, transfer them over. You can still spend on, you know, whatever else you want. So maybe you want to go for that power pole, but you don't have very many golden medals there. You just exchange over all the ones that you've used already for your bronze and silver towards those golds. And, you know, that's... It's not necessarily going to be the best value. Obviously, 50 to 1, not great, but it's better than nothing once you have gone ahead and maxed everything else out. But yeah, guys, really exciting stuff. We're going to go ahead and pick up Goku right now, and I'll just buy 1. Literally just going to buy 1 Z Power just so we acquire Goku. And he should pop up when we back out of here, right? That we got him? Maybe? No? Not going to. Okay, so we got 1 Z Power. He should be on our list, right? Oh, you need 100 Z Power actually for it to be considered owning him. Interesting. I thought if you got 1 Z Power that it would actually make you own him, but that's apparently not going to be the case here. Starting off, his strike attack looks like it might actually grow to be something decent. His key restore is pretty decent in the beginning. Arts card's nothing special. He does have 4 tags, including the Saiyan tag and the Legends Road tag. I think Kids is going to be a relevant tag down the line eventually as well. You know, we'll get new versions of Goten, new versions of Trunks. So I would imagine that we're going to get some more Kids as well. It's just something that's going to need to be over time developed on. You know, we're going to see all these teams. There's actually been a bunch of new tags that have been added, and some tags have been pushed to more characters. So, for example, you go over to Cell, just second form Cell. You look here, he has a future tag now. There's a bunch of examples of this. Again, it's something we can go over in a future video, but there is a lot of stuff to talk about with this update, guys, and that's just what we're doing today. Yeah, this event's awesome. I absolutely love Legends Road. Now, that's only half of the major part of this update. Legends Yellow, probably not worth summoning on, at least in my opinion, but the way that they did buff a whole bunch of characters here is very, very encouraging. And we'll go over to the banner. I'll show you guys what I mean. There's nothing special about this banner. It's a short banner, so if you want something specific on it, hey, I mean, maybe you go for it, but there is going to be a lot of crazy stuff. I feel obligated to tell you that Christmas is going to be the craziest time yet for this game, that the 100 days was just a taste of what we're going to be getting when this game gets its Christmas events and things like that. So just be ready for that, and you'd be better spent, or you'd be better spending your Chrono Crystals, rather, if you went ahead and spent on the Black Friday step-up banner, in my opinion. It's just infinitely better. So take that how you will, but you know, really pretty fantastic update. The banner, maybe not the best, but I don't think anyone really expected a brand new banner with new characters on it when the Legends banners have been coming out as filler banners in between new banners, and we just got a new banner, so you know, we're gonna have to wait a little bit. But yeah, we do have some balance changes here. Now the balance changes are very significant, my dudes. Very significant stuff. So adjustments are made to the 5 lowest characters in their respective rarities in the popular characters ranking on the Super Space Time Duel number 11, restricted to battle rank 50th or above. Now that means that they're not used like at all, guys, like at all. So we're seeing a buff to Ginyu, which is very, very impactful, and we'll talk about that in a minute. We're seeing Cooler. We're seeing Cooler get a nice little buff there. Final Form Frieza got a buff, Pikkon got a buff, and Goku got a buff. Well, last time, you know, they all got buffs. Or not all of these, but some of them got buffs, and they weren't necessarily received very well. They weren't very impactful, did not make these characters relevant past what they were before. And then the extremes here as well, obviously, it did like nothing. Well, you're going to see some craziness going on here, guys, because now we're going to see, first off, these guys all got Z ability upgrades, which are just absolutely fantastic. And you know, I'm actually really excited about Kappa more than others. We'll get to that in a second. But the Z ability upgrades here are actually just amazing. And then the stats were all upgraded on them. Literally all of the extremes had stats upgraded relatively significantly to where they're actually somewhat relevant. Now, the Z ability of 5 stars for Mercenary Tao going to actually give a max base health increase of 17%, as well as a 30% Element Purple base critical. Really fantastic there. Cannot say enough how much I support this decision. Going to Tien, he's even better as support because instead of just strike defense, it's going to be strike attack and defense. You're going to get both out of it. 25% for 5 stars. Fantastic. Moving on forward, we got Kappa. Now, Kappa is important because he's not relevant right now. As you know, God of Destruction, Champa's Saga, just not necessarily going to be the biggest saga right now, you know, as far as its representation, as far as its episode in this game. You know, it's just not represented very well in the game yet, okay? But down the line, we are going to see some really, really awesome characters join Kappa, and I do think that that's going to most likely be the time where he becomes one of the best supports as far as that team is concerned. You know, having 28% at 5 stars is incredible on strike attack and defense, my dudes. So you get the offensive buff now, as well as a nice defensive buff of almost 30%. And then it does go to 30% when you do get him to 7 stars, but we're not really taking that into account because not many people that are not whales are going to be getting that at least anytime soon. Now, and he also has better stats. So he might not even be a support. He might be someone that you put on the main team. I doubt it, but, you know, still having extreme supports that are really good is important in this game, I feel, because we do get a lot of extremes, and you want to feel like you're not getting screwed out of summons if you get decent extremes that are good supports for specific teams. So if you get a lot of Kabbas and you get them up to 5 or 7 stars, hey, that's a great support. You're not going to feel too bad about it. You got some value out of the summon, even though maybe you didn't get the sparking you want. Now, moving on, we got Yamcha. I still don't think he's very relevant, got to be honest with you guys, but I have to appreciate that they went ahead and gave him a 3% buff and then a 5% buff for the 5 and 7 star Z abilities, respectively. And then you go up to Chaozu. Again, maybe not the most impactful because he doesn't do enough damage on his own with his self-destruct, in my opinion, to make him very relevant. But hey, you know, he'll probably have gimmick teams in the future that are based on self-destruct, and then having a subsequently buffed character, like a ridiculously buffed character that benefits from having multiple self-destructs on the team. You know, we definitely could see that where you take out one character with a self-destruct, you take out another character with a self-destruct, and then your third character will be infinitely powered up more than the opponent who also has had 2 characters knocked out. So that is a very possible thing that we see happen at some point. And it would be a very fun gimmicky team that rewards like type play, if I can get the words out. Definitely would reward very, very tight gameplay that's people like think ahead and everything like that, you know, get sequencing right and all that. Very rewarding in that sense. Now, moving on to this absolute just sheet of crazy changes we got for Ginyu. And I'm going to just go over all these right now. This is going to be a little bit of a longer video, guys, because there's just so much to talk about with this update. But I hope that that's a good thing, because there's so much good to talk about with this update. It is ridiculous. The only bad thing, I think, is the new banner, which isn't really a bad thing. Gives people a chance to catch up if they do want to spend the Chrono Crystals on this new, or this new old banner, you know? But that's, you know, it's something, it's the kind of situation where it's good that it's here, and it wouldn't replace anything else. You know, it was going to be there, or nothing was going to be there. It wasn't that or a new banner with new characters, you know? But we'll talk about the one real negative here in just a minute. All right, so Captain Ginyu, guys, we've got before adjustments 15% for 15 timer counts. After is going to be double the timer counts. Same actual, you know, damage output buff, but, you know, still going to be for double the time, which is great. You're going to get another 10 seconds on his special skill, on his extra arts there. Really, just awesome. I really can appreciate these changes, making it so he's going to be, no doubt, more relevant in the long term, you know, back and forth fight. And he does have a decent health anyways, so that's going to be very relevant. Now, his Z ability, once you get him to 5 stars, as you guys know, I've pulled a lot of Ginyus in my time. And I bought him actually for 25 bucks with the starter pack when it did come out. I infinitely regret that decision, but that's, again, another topic for another day. We do have a buff on his Z ability, which is actually just ridiculous. As an additional effect, at 5 stars, he's going to have a 28% tag Frieza Force base strike attack buff. What? Hello? Excuse me? 7 stars. Going to buff that up to a 32% base strike attack buff. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous, my dude. I can't believe they did that. Awesome. Absolutely fantastic. Making it so not only we have him more relevant just based off of his stats, which got upgraded and made him more relevant, his actual, you know, duration of buffs, even though the buffs themselves aren't that ridiculously overpowered compared to new units, they are still really good, and they are still going to be really, really nice to have around for an extra 15 and 10 seconds for the special move and special skill, respectively. And then, you know, the 7 stars Z ability, 5 stars Z ability upgrade is just fantastic. Unique ability going to go from a 20% blast damage inflicted when Tag Frieza Force's battle member to 45%. Assault, strike attack up 20% to 40% as far as damage inflicted for battle start for now 10 more timer counts than it was before. And then Awaken skill. Deals major pierce damage, inflicts bleed. Instead, now it inflicts enemy with bleed and attribute downgrade, minus 85% key recovery for 10 timer counts on hit. Range change from mid to long. Range change really much appreciated because, as you guys know, it was 2 tiles before. Now it's going to be 3 tiles, which is just really, really nice to see. Before, you know, you'd sort of sequence your stuff wrong, and then all of a sudden you'd realize, like, mid-sequence that you screwed it up, and there's nothing you could really do about it. Now you don't need to worry necessarily about the sequencing as much, which I can really appreciate. Moving on, we've got Cooler. He got a stat upgrade. He now has 10% more blast damage for the same timer counts. His special skill is going to cost 15 less, which I can really appreciate that because his special skill is actually really cool. And then he's also going to, instead of just having blast attack, he's going to get an extra 3% buff onto blast attack and an additional blast defense buff as well. And then 7 stars is going to go up from 23% to 30%, which is just crazy, man. It's just insane. 50% of special move arts power for battle start for 20 timer counts. You're going to get an extra 30% on that, as well as another 15 timer counts tacked on. And then to round it all out, we've got his, another unique ability, boost blast attack up from 15 to 25%. And then his main ability, you only have to be out for 15 seconds as opposed to 25 seconds. So just buffs all around, guys, making him much more relevant than he was. And I'd imagine he's still, since he doesn't really have, like, he doesn't have a huge team, you know, he doesn't have a crazy powerful team to build out from. So I think he's probably still going to get maybe, if he doesn't get more, you know, sagas from the movies characters soon, which with Broly coming out, maybe he does very soon. We'll see. But if he doesn't, then he's still going to be at the bottom because he just doesn't have an ironclad team to play with. And that means that he might get buffed even farther than this, to the point where you just include him on the team because he's just a crazy stat-wise beat stick. As far as, you know, his unique abilities and all the things that he does, they're just extra at that point, I think. So right now he might get to where he's, you know, above the bottom, but I still think it's possible that we do see him, you know, retain his position towards the bottom of the usage stats. But we'll see what happens. Final Form Frieza going to get stat upgrades, which, you know, Final Form Frieza was already played in sort of a niche way that I can really appreciate. And now he's even better than he was. His stats go and get upgraded. Special skill going to be mid to long. So again, 3 tiles. Fantastic. 24 to 30% as far as his 5-star Z ability, and 25 to 35% for his 7-star rather Z ability, the level 4 Z ability there. For strike and blast defense, it was like that before. So his defenses are going to be really fantastic. Saiyan damage going to be going up by 20% as far as his strike attack is concerned. And then massive explode damage from major explode damage on his ultimate. So a lot more damage output. Also going to add 20% to allied tag lineage of evil strike damage for 15 timer counts. So we're going to start seeing these sort of evil teams start to build out as, you know, this tag starts to get built on over time, really. And you guys can see all of these changes with tags and stuff. We'll talk about, you know, teams that are now relevant because of these tag changes in the future. But right now you can go to legends.dbz.space and go to the tag section, the character section, and see, you know, what tags have what characters and what changes were made. There's some really good ones. We'll talk again in the future about specifics. Now, Pikkon, we've got stat upgrades because Pikkon's been pretty much the laughingstock of the Legends community since he came out. He wasn't really someone that anyone really was looking for when he came out, and the same thing applies now. Went from just having his max base health there for his 5-star Z ability to having 25% episode sagas from the movies based strike defense. So a nice defensive buff. You're also going to have 28% when you get to 7 stars. And again, the max base health not going to be changed there. So just adding on to it. Good to see. Unique ability going to go up another 20% for anti-Frieza Force, which is appreciated. Standby count up, so when he's defeated, +5 to all enemies. Substitution count for 30 timer counts when defeated. Really can appreciate that one as well. It's a fantastic ability. And you won't really notice it until you start winning the occasional match because of it. You know, substitution count's very, very important and a very interesting metric to sort of change. And characters that do change that are going to most likely be seen winning certain situations where you wouldn't have won otherwise, because you get a few more seconds in on an opponent. Maybe you get another combo off on them because of it. And then finally, his main ability was buffed by 10 timer counts, and you actually don't need to have 15 timer counts elapsed to use it. You only need 10. So pretty decent all around there. Finally, we have got Spirit Bomb Goku. Just absolutely ridiculous. OHSB, dude. And that thing is, he's powerful now, man. He was good before, like good in the sense that he could make things happen in certain specific instances and themes, but oh my god, dude. He is dumb now. His stats are much better. Okay, first and foremost, important to note that because they're not specifically outlined here. It just says, you know, various stats upgraded, but they were upgraded significantly. Special move going to upgrade his critical rate by 50% more now, which is just dumb. It also does more damage. Major damage to massive damage. And then his special skill going to be not a 3-card combo now, only 2 cards. From 80 to 160%. Faint chance going to be the same, and that's an additional 40% off of the second one compared to the third one from before this buff, and 50% on the first card. So if you only have one, you're still getting an 80% buff to his special move arts power, which was also buffed in damage output. Oh my god, this guy combos like crazy. And you know, if that wasn't good enough for you, okay, if that wasn't good enough for you, you look over to his Z ability, which was already used significantly as a support for, you know, overpowered units that were really, really fantastic. Purples in general, And we've seen him used in the past to buff the, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan when he did come out. And now we're probably going to see the same type of situation, except for Super Saiyan 3 Goku. So, ridiculous. And then unique ability also going to mean that plus 80% now instead of 50% on the special move arts power when 2 allies are down. So, that sort of goes hand in hand with what I was talking about earlier. I don't know if it's significant enough to make it actually, a real strategy. We might try that in a future video. Let me know if you want to see that. But with the explosions, the self-destruct effects, maybe a Chaozu Majin Vegeta and one-hand Goku. I don't know. I don't know, man. I want to try it out, but I doubt it's going to be that meta usable unless maybe we see green take over the meta, in which case that would be hilarious to use. We'll see what happens, though. Having 2 allies down, not hard when they literally kill themselves and the opponent. So maybe we see something happen like that. Let me know again if you want to see that down in the comment section below. But there's a lot of argument for this guy being included on quite a few teams now, and I'm actually really excited to give him a good try because he was decently powerful before, just didn't have like a clear-cut team and a clear-cut advantage based on his Z ability and things like that. But now, dude, he is ridiculous with the stat upgrades, with every other upgrade he had. One hand is going to be a pretty decent Goku to run, and I'm actually very excited to try him out. Now, with all of that said, guys, we have got what is possibly the worst part of this update, the Scout Battle, and Space-Time Duel number 14 character is going to be third form Frieza, which I really don't care about, like, at all. At the same time, Purple is now getting built up as probably the next significant mono element team. The current one being Blue, obviously, having Kami Piccolo, and, similar characters that go on that team. They've all been fantastic. So, we have had a mono blue team that's been pretty decent so far. With that said, Purple is looking like it's making an argument with the Goku balances and things like that. Maybe it might just be usable as a mono team. Again, mono team's still not necessarily that competitive in any sense, but still possibly somewhat competitive. And I do like the buffs on third form Frieza Extreme, so it's okay. But are you going to be running that Scout Battle instead of this Goku event? No, probably not. And are you going to be really grinding out this Space-Time Duel for anything other than the Chrono Crystals? Which, if we go over there, I actually need to check and make sure that the rewards are the same. And they are. This is good. They're not dialing back rewards on PvP, which is fantastic because it can fund my habit of spending ridiculous amounts of Chrono Crystals and just slamming my wallet into my iPad to get more of them to spend on every single banner because I am a compulsive gambler. That's not true. Anyways, let's go back on topic. So that's pretty much the worst part of the update, in my opinion. Having third form Frieza as a reward just isn't too enticing, but whatever. It couldn't all be good, okay? It couldn't all be fantastic, and I'm totally okay with the fact that it's not, an amazing reward to push us into doing, scout battles and push us into grinding out those adventures to get as much Z power as physically possible. Having Goten as our last one was really fantastic because he's a great counter. I was able to get him up to, mid 5 stars, I believe, and he's pretty decent, so we'll definitely try him out shortly. But he's fun, he's a good character. Yeah, 3162, so not even really that close, not midway through 5 stars, but nonetheless, his Z ability is pretty decent, and again, element blue, so pretty decent in that sense as well. That's gonna be about it for this one, guys. Let me know what you think of today's update or yesterday's update. The most recent update is what I'm talking about here. And yeah, are you enjoying Legends Road? Do you like the end game content right now? Definitely am enjoying it. In my opinion, it's the best thing that they've done to PvE in this game, and I have not been able to beat EX Battle 4 the second time. I think I got lucky the first time. So what team, I'm curious, are you using for this? I think that I probably ought to switch from mono yellow, mono buff yellow, because I'm only going for specific characters in Goku Black. Maybe I switch it up a little bit, add Super Vegeta. I'm thinking maybe. We'll see. But yeah, the challenge battle is the real challenge here. Level 2000s, that's another topic that we need to go over as well, because we are basically by default now having the level cap increase teased, the next class up teased because there's level 1700 DKP, and then you go to Legends Road, you know, the final one here, the challenge battle, where you can get a free 100 Chrono Crystals for winning the first time. And you know what? That's level 2000s right there. So that's basically how they teased it the first time around. We got a level increase, a class up increase, and I think it's coming very soon again, probably for the Christmas update. So, you know, expect that very soon, guys. This is a very exciting time to be a Legends content creator for sure. And by the way, I just want to throw it out there. We're going to talk about one more thing, and then I'm going to end the video because we're running up over half an hour. This is a screenshot from when I went ahead and logged in and got my reward. You guys are going to notice rank 5693. I had 7600 RP. 7400 out of the close of the servers was about top 10,000. Like, it might have been right under top 10,000. So like, you know, running up around like the 11,000 mark. I'm pretty sure the 9 to 10,000 ranking, correct me if I'm wrong, was around 7,500. I was at 7,600 RP for the last season. So a lot of people got banned, which is very reassuring if you're, you know, someone that grinds out every season, tries to go ahead and knock out, you know, their free 1,000 Chrono Crystals for going ahead and just playing the game in PvP. Pretty exciting there, because it means literally thousands of people, no exaggeration, thousands of people got banned for cheating in this game. That is awesome to see, and I hope that it continues to happen exactly like that. I genuinely think that it has to be at least a few thousand, maybe 2,000 to 3,000 players got banned. And because I had to have been hovering. I wasn't there, you know, I was off editing a college project, but I wasn't there to see it. But it had to, just based off of the logic of it, I had to be hovering around at least the 7,500 mark, if not a little bit higher than that, as far as rating was concerned. Because in the morning, right before I went to class, I'm talking early morning, it was what, like, I want to say that I was around the 5,500 mark, and I was dropping probably 50 or 60 spots an hour. So you do the math. That's pretty significant. We'll see exactly how many that is. If anyone can confirm down below, I would love to have the actual confirmation that, you know, I was at this rank when the servers went down, and then I actually got this rank when the servers came back up and I got my rewards. I would love to hear that. But that's going to be about it for this one, guys. Let me know down in the comments if you have any more info on that, because I would love to relay that information. But yeah, thousands of people most likely got banned, or at least had their RP revoked and didn't get rewards for it, which is, you know, basically, I can really appreciate that, and I'm really happy about that. It's good for the health of the game to not have people able to cheat the system for significant, you know, paid currency rewards, and also cheat other people out of their rightfully earned rewards. So very exciting all around. But that's going to be about it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you have any ideas for future videos you'd like to see on the channel, drop them down in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next one. Till then, peace.